Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. The last run was horrible, but it is what it is, you know? That's just Isaac. I'm having a good day. I recorded that yesterday. WQ Kirk. Very strange. A pre-Kirk William Shatner. I don't even want to dampen your enthusiasm for this episode by calling attention to our absolutely horrible stats right now. What I will say is I'm very quickly starting to remember why we started doing random runs instead of Eden runs. Not too disappointed with sad bombs. That's a great item. You know, bursting sack is an item that does something, I'm sure. Forgot what it was, but man, 16 rate of fire, 2.55 damage. Not an incredible start. Well, it is incredible. Incredibly bad. Oh my word. I mean, that's my own fault for standing there. I know I said I wasn't tilted. I mean, I really wasn't, to be honest, until I looked at our stats. Okay, well that one's on me. Once I looked at our stats, the tilt came back in full force. Mostly, I actually love yesterday's episode because of the fact that we had that incredible anecdote where someone sent us a letter thinking we were Ryan's toy review. By the way, I know the internet. People are going to be like, they were playing a joke on you. It's an elaborate prank. I mean, it could be, but you didn't see the letter. The letter was written in the font of a 6-year-old. This is not a letter written by an adult. Or it's an adult that's an incredible penmanship actor. He do be jumping, though. He do be dodging, though. Wow, this is... Isaac, you're playing with fire. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, that was such a whiff on that one. That was even worse. Like, we've actually reached the point where, like, one of the top things I want in the DLC is a rework to the way that Eden works. Yeah, I know Sinvicta's won 800 runs in a row. You don't judge a game by, you know, the 0.0001% of performance, you know? You judge a game by me. It's just that simple. This is getting maddening. Alright, you gave me a tiers upgrade, so everything's actually hunky-dory. I've decided I like the game again, and we will move on to the next floor, where I hope we have HP. I hope we have more HP. Okay, that's totally fine. And I will, you know, perhaps against some people's better judgment, go give this a try. Like, to a minor extent in Isaac, I kind of feel like I'm waking up from a bad dream. And I'm looking at Isaac and I'm going, wait a minute. When did almost every Eden run start looking so bad? When did red chests start to pay out with troll bombs 75% of the time instead of 25% of the time? When did they make it so that you get a curse on every single floor? When did they make it so that, blah, 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 you know? You don't get damage upgrades because of the fact they're too busy giving you, you know, weird boss items instead. And I don't know the answer. I guess it happened gradually, like a frog in a pot of boiling water. I don't want to start this by complaining. I mean, there's a difference between needless complaining and, like, constructive criticism. This is constructive criticism. Eden would be a lot more fun if these kind of starts happened, you know, once every 10 runs instead of once every 2 runs. But, you know, I'm the dude still talking about Isaac. In 2020, so to some extent, you know, what do you expect, I guess, is what I'm trying to... It's the energy I'm trying to put out in the world right now. When did Tinted Rock start paying out with so few Spirit Hearts and almost exclusively Golden Chests, especially in the early game when you really need the momentum? That's not too bad, though. That's not too bad. We just need to find a way to enter the shop so that we can hopefully enter the item room. And don't screw up your deal with the devil. The deal with the devil is, that's the get out of jail free card. That's how you find yourself We gotta try this. That's how you find yourself getting out in front of the game, facing no consequences for your actions. But anyway, how am I doing? You might think bad, or badly, I guess, because of the fact that I, you know, started this episode in what appears to be a sour mood. I'm actually in a great mood. I have no complaints about, well, I have one complaint about the world around me right now. Alright, I have 2 complaints about the world around me. But, no, everything's going real well. Having a good week. As is, I mean, you know, it's typical. It's typical for us to have a good week. A good week for me, I think it's because I have low expectations. I'm never like, yeah, I've been having a good week. Oh, I went skydiving, and then I got invited to Kylie Jenner's birthday party, and then, you know, a great uncle I never met died and gave me $15 million. Like, what's a great week for me? I've been doing my job, and I'm not sick, and I've been going to the gym, and, you know, everyone's happy and healthy, and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's, in that sense, it's been a very good week. No complaints to offer. And I gotta tell you, dude, I haven't mentioned it, but for the past 2 days, I felt like an inkling of sickness. I'm really not concerned, and we won't talk about this too much because I talked about it a lot on stream. Like, the coronavirus stuff, it doesn't have me freaked out in the sense that I'm like, you know, I'm never going to leave my house. The truth is, I very rarely leave my house anyway, except to go to the gym and buy groceries. But, you know, I'm watching it with a cautionary eye. You know, especially, like, as it starts to really impact, like, real-world events. Like, I mean, it's not really, like, a huge deal, but, like, a bunch of companies pulled out of PAX. Not because they were worried about PAX necessarily, but because they're worried about, you know, traveling. Because, you know, you're going to be, you know, on a little cylinder in outer space. Clearly, I don't know how air travel. You get the idea. On a plane, people oftentimes get sick, or they get sick after they fly, because people, I mean, you've seen people at the airport if you've ever been there. People are taking absolutely foul bowel movements and then leaving the bathroom without washing their hands and then coughing on the first stranger they see. It's mind-boggling to me, but it happens. But yeah, it's getting wild out there for sure. I feel bad because on, like, oh, that's not bad, although we're going to use that immediately. I feel bad because on, like, Tuesday's stream, I was saying, like, I don't know anything about finance at all, but because of, like, the political situation on planet Earth and also the coronavirus news, I want to call up my bank and be like, please let me short every single stock. And then the S&P 500 fell like 11 points 2 days later. So I feel bad, but on the other hand, I'm also like, all right, let's repackage that clip so it looks like I'm a financial Nostradamus, and maybe CNBC will give me my own television show where I smash a big button and go, buy, buy, buy. Anyway, we're fishing on this one. I'm not afraid to admit it. We got a luck stat over 0. Let's give it a chance. I mean, we just want a key. One key while having a decent chunk of money is really all we're looking for. I'm not afraid to go to 0 on this one if we have to. A bomb is a start. It's not good, but it's a start. We can build something out of it. Come on, don't do me like this. Just give me something. Okay, if you're not going to give me something, we're going to blow this up to get 2 pennies. Terrible investment. All right, well, no item room on this floor, unless maybe on our boss trap room we got something. But, no, for, like, today's Thursday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I wasn't sick, but I kind of had that first little inclination, you know what I mean? That inclination that's like, am I maybe getting sick? Is this hoarseness, or is this a sore throat? Is this normal tiredness because I've been working a lot, or is this, you know, exhaustion from my body fighting off some kind of infectious disease? And I honestly would have given it like a 50-50 chance that I was coming down with something, but I just, you know, I got like 9 hours of sleep last night, and I woke up today feeling like $1 million, like $1 million bucks. Look, I'm gonna own up to the fact I've been complaining about Isaac a little bit. I also want to just bring up the fact that this is the second run in as many days where it's taken us 10 minutes to get out of the second floor. So, you know, just I'm asking you to have mercy when you look at my disposition and go, why is his disposition so cloudy? He doesn't have a sunny disposition right now. I feel like I have a sunny disposition. I'm just examining. Okay, I should have taken you out. That's my bad. I'm examining things through what I would say is a fairly critical lens. A lens that is critical, but fair. And these runs lately have been a real pain in the butt. You know, when it takes you this long to kill basic enemies, you kind of find yourself going like, what am I doing here? I hate to say it, but there's a certain element of like, alright, we can always just go back to random runs. Like, I'm being 100% honest. Without a doubt, I would rather be the keeper than have an Eden run with these starting parameters. I would rather be the lost than have an Eden run with these starting parameters. Because at least those are hard in an interesting way, instead of just like, oh, the enemy that normally takes 40 shots to kill now takes 140. But anyway, I appear to have gotten over whatever it was, which is probably just hoarseness combined with a little bit of tiredness, or you know, maybe the old immune system fought it off. I appreciate it either way, body. Thank you very much. And I'm feeling very good. I've seen a lot of people. I guess we are going to get into it because it's going to be a long episode, apparently. I've seen a lot of people online that are like, you know, I don't know. This happens all the time. Like, all I would say to you is you have to caution yourself, okay? Because yes, the flu, you know, influenza itself kills more people than the coronavirus has. Yes, you know, Ebola is more deadly, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, it's a disease that has a, it passes through the air instead of by, like, direct fluid, which makes it more transferable, more easily transmissible, I should say. And, the fact that people are almost asymptomatic, going out with it, and then maybe sneezing and not even realizing that there's a problem is more dangerous than somebody having, you know, blood spewing out of every orifice and being quarantined immediately upon having some symptoms. So, by the way, I'm not going to use Book of the Dead for a bit. I'm going to try to just use it as a statistical gain for us, because I think it's necessary. But again, I'm not an epidemiologist. All I'm railing against is this idea, because sometimes, you know, I've talked about it. Oh, no, we can do something here. Okay, we tried. I've talked about it on stream a little bit, and they're like, you know, I'm very smart. I'm not worried at all about the coronavirus, because any day you could be hit by a bus. And I'm like, well, you know, that's true, I suppose. And you gotta, you know, conceptualize it and contextualize it however you feel most comfortable, but like, I'm not saying you should live your life in fear and alarm because of the fact that coronavirus is out there, but you should start washing your hands. I'm begging you. Just please, God. I see you in the bathroom, and you're running the water over your hands, and you're not using soap, and it's the dumbest thing in the world. Just start washing them. I see you. See you at the restaurant. I see you at PAX. I've seen you on the beach, and I've seen you on TV. 2 of a million stars. Ah, yes. A joke about a 20-year-old epidemic combined with a 40-year-old song. That's really gonna bring the house down. That's Rio by Duran Duran, in case you're wondering. You know, her name is Rio, she don't think she understand. I might find her if I'm looking like I can. Can I just get a key, or a bomb, or HP, or enough money to do something, or, you know, an item that improves my abilities, or a battery charge that allows me to use my spacebar item without compromising my ability to actually get something done? Or is that not something that happens in this game anymore? Thank you, I really appreciate the penny. Hope to hear from you soon. I don't know, we probably will take a run at, don't do it. Probably will take a run at that scapular at some point. Oh my god, they gave me a key. Isn't it lovely? Well worth it, I would say. You're catching me at an inflection point right now, Isaac. After yesterday's run, which I will admit I had some problems. I'm waving my finger at the screen. I had some problems on yesterday's run. I didn't perform as well as I could have, and we should have been able to eke out a win, despite the fact that it was a bit of a strange one. But you're hitting me with 2 junks in a row. When you hit me with 1 junk, I say, you know what, that's funny. It happens from time to time, and people love to watch a train wreck. When you hit me with 2 junks in a row, I say, you know, I could be doing something else right now. I'm no longer, you know, a captive audience. You know, this isn't Till Tuesday by Voices Carry by Till Tuesday. He wants me if he can keep me in line. You know, that's a banger. It's a banger. It came on my Google Play Music playlist as generated from Men at Work's Overkill. Hush, hush, don't say a word, Voices Carry. If you don't know it, then look it up. Tell him the egg sent you. Okay, so what's our escape plan here? Well, honestly, we're not in a horrible position from a potential standpoint. Current overall, according to EA's Madden stats, we're at like a 61 overall, but we have a B potential rating. This could potentially become a full-time NFL player. Maybe not an elite superstar, but it could get a roster spot. We needed to beat the odds. We needed this to be good, aka not Krampus. One of the rare times I definitely should have taken the HP on the... That's so good! Thank you. So we might as well take both. And we can't die from picking this up now, which is extremely nice. Okay, so I really do not wish to mess with this. I think we're just going to head down to the next floor. I think we just keep the stats for now, and if we ever get above adequate stats, we can start using the Book of the Dead. This is still not amazing, but we raised our overall to like a 71, maybe. I don't know how it works in the games anymore, because I haven't played Madden in, you know, quite literally like 15 years, but I played NHL a little bit. Don't you have to be like a high 70s just to be on the 4th line? Something like that? I don't know. Anyway. Keep up the good work. Everything could be fine here. But yeah, it's been good. I just like... I mean, I've seen it play out 1,000 times before on the internet. Here's my philosophy on this subject, okay? You're not smarter, and this applies to a lot of things. You don't get to feel smarter than other people for not caring about something. I know that this is a big, I mean, because I've been there, right? I've been that age. Sometimes, you know, I understand, you know? Maybe you're 20 and you're watching this and you're like, he wouldn't understand, he's 31. Well, I had to pass through 20 to get to 31. I've gone through a lot of ignorance, self-inflicted in my life so far. And I've been that guy. I don't understand why the news is fear-mongering about this stuff. Sure, yeah, I mean, like, it's actually one of the major reasons I don't watch the news in general. But when people as individuals are like, well, this coronavirus stuff is really, like, popping off, huh? I will take it. And then they go like, yeah, but you're stupid if you worry about it. More people die due to emphysema every year. And you're like, well, yeah. That's why, you know, I don't smoke. You know, I'm just, I'm not nervous on a daily basis. Like, when I see someone cough in public, I'm not like, hey, you! But I am like, yo, when I'm out in public and I come home, I'm like, wash those hands. Wash them up to the freaking elbow. You don't lose something by being prepared in this situation. This ain't your doomsday prepper situation where people are like, I'm very concerned that, you know, a solar flare is gonna strike Earth, so I spent my entire life savings building a bunker that has, you know, 15 M16s in it, but no water. This is like, you know, use some soap and water. would recommend. Anyway. Okay, well, we can actually take advantage of this for once. I mean, we could take advantage of it for twice, actually, once we finish this room. Actually get some value out of this. I want to be clear, we just got 2 very, very good items. The run is still kind of bad. I'm not saying that to, you know, get you onto my side about, like, what happened. Because I think we're just in a run of, you know, badly clumped variants, hopefully. But it's like, we didn't really strike it rich. You know, if we won the lottery, we won, like, 25 grand. It's enough to make an impact on your life, but, you know, you're not moving to the hills of Beverly, probably. Why are these guys so scared of me? Like, they're metagaming me right now. Please? Thank you. A key. Oh my god, a key. We can go to... Thank you. We can go to our item room. It's gonna haunt me for the rest of my days. Whatever that item room was that we were not able to get on the 2nd floor. Big whiff on that bomb, unfortunately. We shouldn't be standing there. Mostly because I don't want to lose the bones. I am begging you. I know it's a lot to ask, but like an all stats upgrade, dude. At least damage. Oh, dude, thank you! I almost broke into song. That's such a good get for us. With Incubus, there is some spice attached, but it's also like... This is pretty sick. That's pretty sick as well. Now, if we could only maybe find like a magic mushroom. Do appreciate that. This would be our shop then. Hold on. We got a double key situation. This probably... I might even go a step further than probably, but this seems to have won us the game. I will just take a random item. Honestly, that's fine. We really just need an injection of whatever the heck we can get here. So we're looking for half-price items. Pill's not good enough. Spirit Hearts might be, but like... Cards might be. We get up to 12 cents. Can't do much, but I will buy a card. The card will save us a key, which could actually be of the utmost importance. Alright. I would hesitate to say that we're cruising, but we're definitely, like, we've taken off, finally. We're at cruising altitude in T-minus 10 minutes, maybe. And now I can stop being so much of a curmudgeon, you know? I am excited. You know what I'm excited about right now? Apollo's Mario Maker... League is taking off starting next Friday, I think. I'm excited for 2 reasons. One is the obvious one. I'm participating, and I think it's going to be fun. The other one is, I'm not taking any credit for this, by the way. But there's a wave of infectiousness passing through the community right now. You know, infectious positivity. I mean, that was dumb of me, but we will definitely just pick up Bumbo. This could be pretty solid. You know, I talked about it in a couple of the channel updates we've done. If you haven't seen them, you don't have to see them. But if you're interested in, like, where we're at as a content creator, I would definitely recommend, you know, watching the channel updates. And then if you like them, watch the podcast that we do with Dan. But basically, you know, Dan has an infectious positivity about, you know... working hard on streaming, YouTubing, and, you know, stuff like that. And, that, like, really was contagious for me. And led to me, you know, taking a lot more pride and taking some risks and doing some new styles of content like we've done over the course of this year so far, which has been great. And then, you know, I've noticed, and I'm not taking credit because I'm not even patient zero for this. Dan probably isn't patient zero. Dan's probably like, well, really, I got excited about doing this because, you know, I had a mentor that, you know, taught me that it's cool to be excited about things. And then that mentor isn't even patient zero. Like, he, you know, learned it from his dad back in, like, 1973 or something. You get what I mean? It's a positive thing no matter how it spreads. But I'm noticing, you know, Apollo's doing his own... Like the Mario Maker League. it kind of, I think, comes from the same cloth as the stuff that, you know, Dan and I have been doing. And Champions of Salt last year as well, which Kate organized completely herself. Well, with the help of David, but, you know, you get the idea. Bear's doing his own roguelite pentathlon. Like, it's a good time for the community. There's an infectiousness right now. I'm excited to see how it, you know, pans out. And I think, like, if there's one thing that I've been trying to get across, and I don't think I've been doing a great job of it, but, you know, just because something new doesn't necessarily take off, doesn't mean, you know, that it was dumb to do it in the first place. Like, maybe the Mario Maker League doesn't get the numbers that Apollo thought it would get, right? So what? You got a few weeks of fun content making new levels. For some people out there, it's going to be they're going to be like, it was a highlight of my year. And then on top of that, you had fun doing it. Like, not all the new videos that I've done this year have actually done great numbers. Some of them have done really well, and honestly, some of them have done, like, worse than a video that would have taken 15 minutes to make would have done, just mindlessly. But I got something out of them as well. It's not just, like, about the viewership, you know. I had fun making it in the process. Come on, dude. And that's worth a lot, you know. I think people, and not everybody, but I think people sometimes, and I think this applies to other things in life as well. You know, here's an example that I think of all the time. I know I didn't finish my earlier point. In my defense, my earlier point, I don't think it was going to hit as hard as this one. I think people are like, I want to do something. You know, I want to learn. Well, I think a really common one is getting into shape, right? I want to get in shape. But what if I, like, go to the gym for 3 months and then I fall out of the habit? Then I wasted all that time and I didn't get a six-pack. So, like, what's the point? Well, the point is, and we will just take this. First off, I mean, there's no way around that. Like, you can't beat that, right? You gotta take steps to make it as likely as possible that you'll stick with the things that you want to do, for sure. But secondarily, like, you know, it's not like there's anything that can actually defeat that mentality for you, so you just gotta live with it. But then on top of that, you know, even if you don't become a master at it, so what? You know, you got 3 months of working out. It was a fun hobby. You got invariably a little stronger, a little healthier. Wouldn't you agree that that's worth, you know, the time that you spent on it? Even if you didn't accomplish maybe your huge, like, blue sky goal in the first place, which who knows what that even was. You know, you want to look like Chad Michael Murray in House of Wax or something like that. You know, it's worth doing it as well. Like, people are like, I want to learn how to make a video game, so I'm going to code. You know, the worst thing that could happen if you invest, you know, 6 months into learning how to code and it doesn't work out, what did you actually lose out on? For most people, I think they're not pulling, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say that risk doesn't exist, but, like, for stuff like this, you know, what did you actually lose if you spent 200 hours trying to learn how to code and you didn't, you know, make the next, you know, World of Warcraft or something like that? You didn't lose anything at all. You know, if anything, you gained some knowledge, a chance for it to take off, and you actually had some fun doing it as well. Because when you're doing something you like, even if it's productive, is good. You know, you have a fun time doing it. So that's, not that anybody's been dampening this stuff. No, nobody's really been, like, coming out of the woodwork being like, please, why would you make this video? It only got 30,000 views, you know? But I think that sometimes people, they, like, beg the question in that sense. So if you're wondering, like, why to try a new thing, there's your answer right there from my perspective, at least. Sorry, Bumbo, I took your money. I'm not really trying to be, like, you know, Mr. Motivation. I'm just saying. Like, Dan and I have been talking about it a lot on the podcast, and it's really resonated with me, this idea that, like, you know, I'm learning Korean right now, and it's slow going. Like, I don't tell you I'm learning Korean so that you're gonna be like, oh, in 6 months, you know, you're gonna quiz me, right? It's gonna take us forever to get there because we're going really slowly. But, at the same time, you know, if 2 years from now, I haven't actually learned any extra Korean compared to what I've learned over the first, you know, month and a half so far, is that a loss? I don't think so. You know, what did I actually do? Well, I took some time that I would have been mindlessly playing like Forza Eliminator, and instead put it towards, you know, learning a new skill that was fun to do at that time as well. I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself, don't play video games, blah, blah, blah. What I'm trying to say is just like, hey, you know, trying new things. Most of them in the modern day have a very, very low risk associated with them. You know what it was like if you wanted to learn a language? You know, back, even like I tried to learn a little Korean before going to Korea, and I had, let's call it, middling levels of success. You had a few options. You could buy those, like, what are they called, like Berlins or something, audio books, which were super expensive because they had the market cornered. Or, you know, you could buy Rosetta Stone, which was like $700. Or you could take a class, which would probably be like a few $100s, depending on where you took it. Or you could buy a textbook and try to hack it yourself, which I'm mostly okay with, but, you know, it's not for everybody for sure. Nowadays, you can go, there's online language exchanges, Duolingo, you know, etc., etc. And then, you know, some of those methods might be more effective than others, but, like, you can learn so much online for free that really, like, the only thing you're losing is your time, and I don't know, I'm like, for most people, myself included, like, here's the thing, my time is kind of valuable in, like, a literal sense, but it's also, like, it's not that valuable. Like, if I lose some of it, I'm not like, this is ridiculous. So I imagine for most people, you're kind of in a similar boat, you know? Nobody wants to waste time on a venture that's not going to turn out, but, you know, I always think, and I've struggled with this as well, you know? Like, this was my aversion to working out for a while, was kind of like, well, yeah, I'd like to get more in shape, and I recognize it's important, but at the same time, like, if I'm not going to have the dedication to get truly jacked, then why even waste my time in the first place? Well, you're not wasting your time. You're enjoying yourself in the process. Anyway, I've talked too much about this stuff, but that's my hypothesis, and that's why I'm excited. I'm excited to play in the tournament myself. I think we're an okay Mario player. I'm not saying we would be the favorites to win, but I think we got a shot to take some rounds. And on top of that, I'm excited to see how it works out for my good friend Apollo, who I know has put in a very concerted effort. Get out of there. Oh, you made a mistake. Very concerted effort to make something a little fresher. You know, a little fresher than just, you know, going live, playing the same, like, you know, 8 to 10 games for the rest of our lives. I say "are" because I do the same thing. Very eager to see how it turns out. Not worth it. And dude, I gotta tell you, I'm extremely stoked about this run. I think this run is it's been very nice for us, despite the fact that it started in such a bad place. No. Now this room is toxic. Get me out of here. Number one priority is honestly, I don't even care about max level Bumbo. I think he's just gonna ambiently get what he needs. Number one priority for certain is as much HP as possible, so this is super helpful. We might as well try. But yeah, I have to resist slipping into the podcast mindset of, like, you know, you can do it. But I will say, I'm not really setting out to, like, motivate. If that happens, like, that's the nicest comments that have come up on the podcast so far have been like, when I watched the podcast, it got me motivated enough that I, like, you know, I went out and went to the gym. I think that's super cool. You know, if you can use it as, like, a, you know, a little fuel to get you doing stuff you know you should be doing, but maybe are slacking off on, which everybody does, me and Dan included. That's amazing. Again, it's the most complimentary thing I could imagine. But it's more so just like, you know, if you're watching a streamer and they're trying something new, you should recognize why. Don't be like, you know, it's like, and this is, you're probably like, he's been overly optimistic so far. So now I'm going to do what I always do, and I'm going to pull it back to my average kind of curmudgeon-esque self, and I'm going to be like, here's what happens sometimes. People, because the barrier to entry to become a streamer is essentially 0, we get a lot of advice and feedback that is from a place of ignorance, just calling it what it is. You know, people that have not actually done it. And then when you take issue with the advice and you go, I don't really think that advice in particular is good or applicable to me, they go, okay, well, I'm just trying to help, you know? Like, I just want what's best for you and your business. So sometimes, you know, I did like an I think you should leave tier list, and numbers-wise, it didn't set the world on fire, but I had a ton of fun making it. One dude was like, you know, you should have done a tier list that was more accessible, that maybe like more people would be interested in. You know, I didn't respond to it because I've had this conversation on stream, you know, about other projects before. You know, anytime you take issue with something that somebody recommends for your business, just because they think in their head it would be like a good thing. And some of the ideas are really good, I'll admit. Or they're great for other channels, but maybe not for mine. Not to say like everything's, you know, different for me, but, you know, you should play Fortnite. It's popping off right now. We did. It isn't. I played Moon River Rock for my family. They hated it. Anyway. That's all I'm saying. You can't look at everything via a numbers play, is all I'm trying to say. Some of it has like a psychological benefit. For me, you know, Isaac, it does, you know, 25 to 35,000 views per episode. To make a video out of thin air that does as well as Isaac is actually very complimentary for me. Now, if you saw it, you might be like 25,000 views is a little bit on the low side for an original video. I kind of look at it the other way. I'm like, man, this is something that nobody knew what it was going to be like coming in, and they still said, I'm going to click on it and watch it. Like, I think that's really cool. Now, if they started to get like, you know, 1/10 the views that the average video on my channel got, I might start to be like, okay, maybe we should make something different, but for now, I think we got a good thing going on. I think we got a really good 2020 so far. Now, are we going to hit 1 million subscribers in 2020? Look, it's a long year, don't get me wrong. 900K might be a little bit more realistic while still being ambitious, but I won't be sad if we don't hit either. I think, you know, we're moving the needle in a positive direction. We're making good content that people want to see. And I'm blessed to have the kind of community support that I do. I always find it funny, too. Like, I've said this many, many times, but, like, you guys are such a unique community on YouTube and Twitch. Everybody on Twitch complains. Well, not everybody, because, like, honestly, I've only heard this from streamers that are not really in our circle of colleagues. But, like, from streamers that are, like, you know, League-focused or, you know, like, shooter-focused, they always complain. Like, yeah, I love what I'm doing, but at the same time, whenever I play something different or I do, like, a sponsored stream, my audience complains, and it goes down to, like, 10% of what it normally is. Everybody just says, hey, go back to Dota, go back to Fortnite, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, we're living in different worlds. Anytime I play the stuff I'm most known for, there's a huge contingent of people that is like, please don't play any more of this. We already have enough. Play literally anything else. Like, I have people that, you know, watch my stream that are like, man, I hope he plays a bad game today. I love it. It's great. It's such a weird but very, very cool position to be in, because that's the kind of stuff I like to make in the first place. So it's really it's very weird, but I'm for it. I'm for it. Don't get me wrong. So we're very blessed this run came together. It is hard to shoot the bombs. The bombs are going off of like Ghost Baby and Brother Bobby's shot and ricocheting right into my face, but you know, it is over. This one is now complete and done, and I am happy we put up a win. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya! See ya!